against Black America. Now, I don't know if y'all agree, but so far, that's what my analysis is showing me. Oliver North is instrumental. So Oliver North ties us in. This came out of Iran-Contra. This was exposed in what we call Iran-Contra affair. Right? When you look up Iran-Contra affair, this is what's going to come up. Right? Iran-Contra history. I should have went to Wikipedia. The power of modern motherfucking technology to be able to sit here and go through this research piece by piece with y'all and show y'all this shit. You can't make this shit up. When a motherfucker can follow everything you saying, you got to be the baddest motherfucker ever born. Iran-Contra affair was a secret. See that word? U.S. right here is telling you who. Now I got to identify 5 things. Who, what, when, where, and why. All right, U.S. So now we know it was a secret. So now they don't want us to know the 5 things. Because it was a secret. But they had to give us the opportunity to discover, and this is what it says. This is who's behind it. The U.S. is behind it. Why you know they behind it? There's an arms deal that traded missiles. This ain't no 38s and no 357s in the hood, people. Missiles and other arms to free some Americans held hostage by terrorists in Lebanon. Look at where it's at. Lebanon. Lebanon, people. This is the Iran-Contra. What the fuck is Iran doing in it, mentioned in it? The Iran hostage cases, they telling you that the hostages was never in Iran. They were in Lebanon. They lied to you. How do you know they lied to you? Because they wanted to keep it a secret. They have to use misdirection. If they held in Lebanon, then why are we feuding with Iran? It was a double cross, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Now, the terrorists in Lebanon, the Americans were hostage to. This is the why. This is the why of the Iran-Contra, but as a secret event, the why is merely a justification. So on this, when it say free some Americans held hostage, I would write over here in this field, right, an arrow pointing to this, right, and say further research, and then I would underline the word hostages, and I would underline terrorists in Lebanon, because that's not what they told us. Iran-Contra was America was selling and buying missiles and firearms, munitions to Iran. That's what they told us it was. Lebanon is where the hostages were. But America was putting the pressure on Iran, because it's telling you right here, America's behind it. They're using the hostages as a justification. When that became a justification, that made this become a nullification. That became nullified, right? So they still got to tell us what's going on in a reasonable way to discover. So they have to tell me to use this as a mirror. Lebanon has to be a mirror for me. In order for me to know their next move and to peep their strategy to take over and block that shit on this galactic chessboard, they have to tell me the deception. Now, let's go. But also use funds. This is how they did it. This is the means of execution. They always say investigation, follow the money. Where did they get the money? From the arms deal to support armed conflict in Nicaragua. What was the arms deal in Nicaragua, and how did that get them the money to get these missiles to trade to Iran, or as they say, Lebanon, right? The controversial deal making and the ensuing political scandal, right, threatened to bring down the presidency of Ronald Reagan, right? This is my mirror. Ronald Reagan, right? Now let me show you why I say he my mirror. The R to me look like two peas held up by a stick, right? This pea can't be flipped. Why this pea can't be flipped? The pea is propped, it's jammed, right? Right here. This is jamming the pea from flipping, right? The only thing that can happen is a R, right? Has to be the one that's the cane right here. In the two-ball, this is a two-cane shuffle. This is two men in the two-ball cane game struggling. One of them is trying to flip the P right here. He's trying to flip the P. But the other one right here won't let the P flip. He got him locked in. The P can't flip. The P stuck to the left. It's stuck to the metro line, right? But now it's pointing me somewhere up here. Twitter, right? The bird is flying. This telling me I'm on the right track because this is Sparrow Capistrano in reverse. The Twitter bird. Now, they say in the ensuing political scandal threatened to bring down the presidency of Ronald Reagan. Let's say the Reagan doctrine. The Iran-Contra affair, or Iran-Gate, now they're comparing it to Richard Milhouse Nixon and Watergate. I need three connections now between Ronald Reagan, Portia, and Irongate. Not Irongate, Richard Nixon. Iran is Ronald Reagan's scandal. Watergate is the mirror, which is Richard Nixon's scandal. Once I get three knocks on Reagan and Nixon, right? Once I can get y'all three knocks, then I can flip the gate. That's the secret. That's the secret to reading they shit. That's the keys. So the Iran-Contra affair or Iran-Gate may not have happened were it not for the political climate of the 1980s. What was the political climate, right? Let's touch on that a little bit. In 1980, Jimmy Carter commissioned something called the Global 2000 Report to assess the state of the world. Portia, go to Wikipedia or go to Global 2000 Report PDF. Type on there Carter's program or blueprint to take over the world. This is Jimmy Carter issued the order for it. They got all the information you need to find out what it is. And I'm going to be referencing it without telling you what's in it completely. I'm going to touch on only the pieces that's important. But that is what you call a written declaration of war on Earthlings. Jimmy Carter was replaced by a Robotoid and is not the real Jimmy Carter. Malachi York proved this already, right? He already put it out there so that it would be known when you read the Global 2000 report. The comparison to that Global 2000 report to determine if the report is as valid as it say when they say reduce the world population. You have to about 2/3. At the time, it was 3.5 billion people on Earth. They wanted to reduce it by 2/3 by the year 2000. How can we prove that they meant it and that this was the declaration of war? Portia, go to images, put in Georgia Guidestones, and try to get a picture that shows the planned population for Earth after they get done killing us all. Just post it right in the comments so the people could see it. Right? So the Georgia Guidestones say that these people that's about to take over the world, who am I have to identify for y'all so y'all know who the enemy is clearly. These people that's about to take over the world is laying their play down. Now, Jimmy Carter just issued the proclamation of war, right? From the elites, the false elites, the imposters. They marching a death march against the women of the world and the children by changing who the children are using MK Ultra mind control techniques. Now, I'm going to give y'all the name of the guy who invented the technique for creating a victim using hypnosis that don't know that they never been victimized, or they also create spies the same way. I'm going to pull him up. The man, as y'all need to know who these people is behind y'all being sacrificed. Y'all need to know who these people is. This dude right here. He is the one who developed alternate personalities and what you heard of as Manchurian candidates. I have his books and I've studied his works. He is as wicked as you could possibly think he is. He the one taught them how to use pain rights through sexual abuse of children to turn them into drones, to have them delivered into the locations of certain people and spring an alternate personality out to condemn the other person. This is what they did to Malachi. This is the guy behind the whole sex case of Malachi, and he been dead for years. He wrote the blueprint for them to follow. Right? So George Estabrook's his name. You see that link right there, Portia? If you go to there and you pull him up, you see that link right there? Share that and write George Estabrook's MK Ultra Mind Control Specialist #1. I'm not going to go through all of them. Only reason I'm bringing him up, because he's the one who created child sex sacrifice victims pain rights so that they can create alternate personalities and use them as weaponized humans. This dude right here did that. Right? George Estabrook. Y'all need to know what he looked like. Right? Now, all of these people that you see right here are connected to him. They all got something kind of to do with MK Ultra or government espionage and stuff like that in psychology and mind sciences. I'm finna show you how the Matrix is put together, and I'm finna start pointing this shit out to y'all. Now, up here, we got Estabrook as the one who created the design for the split personalities and Lizzie Borden movie was made based off his work, where he was able to create over 47 characters or something, like 47 personalities in one person. They called her Lizzie Borden. So if you look her up, no, Not Lizzie Borden, my bad. I'm telling y'all the wrong person. They made a movie about her in the 70s called Sybil. And this is the movie right here. Right? This is the story of it right here. Look who play in it now. Shirley, my mama name. Right? Art is my sister name. This is my sister last name. Right? So now it's telling me that they're using Lizzie Borden as a mirror for me. Now I got to figure out Lizzie Borden. Because they're using my mom and my sister just off the matrilineal. So I got to identify 4 things in this, 4 points of connection in Lizzie Borden in order to find the clues that's left for me here. The first one is this. Let's go find out who she was. Because you always need to know who the subject is in an investigation. So her real name is Shirley Ardale Mason, right? And they call her Sybil. Why do they call her Sybil? They call her Sybil for this reason. I'm going to show you everything I'm telling you. See, anybody can tell y'all anything, but when they show it to you in real time, that shit is indisputable. See this? African Sybil. You with me, Portia? This is the link we need to save to the comments for reference. This is what the page look like. I'm going to go back so you can find it again. Look. This is why they called it Sybil. And this is why my sister and my mama, my matrilineal line is the reference. You see what it say? The suppressed history of the civil prophetesses. Right? And you go down, it give you a YouTube link. I'm not going to go into that. But there's also a PDF. So let's go back and find the story of the Sybil's. Written form. Oh, I love Mommy Water. Mommy Water always be telling it like it is on the... Alright, here we go, people. The Sybil's prophecies was ancienter. That got my attention because now remember, we talking about an educated person using a broken dialect of English that we don't use no more. When they say ancient right? That's telling me that it goes all the way back to Babylon. So it says the civil prophecies were ancient or older than ancient Babylon, and all other heathen learning. So this is what we was doing before Babylon. Civil prophecies was ancient or older than ancient and it was all of the heathen learning. Heathen mean those are the heath. Those who was before organized Western religion are heathens. All right. So it say that that told real events. See the break? And whose words you have put in the mouths of your Christian prophets. Now, they saying that they took the words of the Sybil's, if y'all see that, and put it in the mouths of Christian prophets. This is who's saying it. One of the most notable Roman theologians in history. He's saying they stole it from Africa. Now I know where the Bible came from. The civil prophecies. Right? All this shit related. Unified field theory. The crest keys to color confrontation. This is what this is right here. Now look. When in the days of Mark Antony, soldiers was destroyed by storms and owls and wolves invaded cities. When unexpected sun eclipses darken the republic, when a thunderbolt damaged the scepter of Jupiter, right? And when animals brought forth creatures outside their species, the Sibylline oracles, right? Now I did a post on who they were. They were from the Psi priesthood. Medusa was one, and they were under Helen in Rome. Helen was beheaded or replaced in Greece, in Rome with a man. They was under Helen in Greece as a woman, but when they flipped her into Rome, they turned her into a man. And that's what they mean when they said they cut off Medusa's head. This right here. That's exactly what they talking about. When they took the Sibyl oracles doctrine and they gave it to the Christian prophets. You see it right here in real time. I'm looking this shit up for you. I can't make this shit up. Now, it's told you everything that was going on. The Sibyl oracles were made known with the result that some men became inspired and uttered prophecies. Right? It was rare. Why? Men can't control mitochondria. And if the man can't control the mitochondria, he needs a powerful woman, which we called back in the day a Sibyl, right? Or a Sabael, a priest that dealt with the body and the spirit as the El, the God, the elevated self. A balancing of the elevated self. You see this, the P that need to be flipped. The YL flip becomes the EL. Because the Y is interchangeable with the vowels. So when you flip this P to identify this master, right, which is actually an entire priesthood that they call Sibyls, and that they stole them, and these were the oracles. Well, who were the oracles? The oracles of Delphi. Can't make this shit up. What's up, Lamel? If you want to get in, man, just tag me. I'll put you in anytime you're ready. If you got anything you want to contribute, if you want to add to the stream of thought, it's going down. I'm walking them all the way up to walking them all the way up to ADX to see Pops face to face without even being there as the mirror that he was to reveal the wickedness that we know as Epstein. And Bill Cosby was used to reveal the wickedness we know as Weinstein. Pops told us, now anybody know Pops? Now correct me if I'm wrong, Lamel. No, Pops love to drink wine. Right? So now he finna use Epstein as a mirror to show me Weinstein. Right? So Pops showed me Epstein by taking the sacrifice when MK Ultra came knocking. The whole plan is laid out, right, in the MK Ultra document on the methodology used to entrap Malachi York. And Malachi York then became the mirror to identify the wicked that we call Epstein, right? Once Epstein is identified, the next thing that has to happen is Bill Cosby has to be used to identify Weinstein. Then, right, R. Kelly has to be used to identify